I'm Ashton Addison from EventChain for Investment Pitch Media and FinTech News Network. And today on Blockchain Interviews, we have Dr. Michael Garbade, CEO of Education Ecosystem. Michael, welcome to the show, and it's a pleasure to see you again. It's been a while.
Yeah, thanks, Ashton. Nice to be with you on the show again.
Yeah, it's been since last year, but I'm excited to hear more updates about Education Ecosystem. And let's kick it off. If you could please give us an overview for the viewers that haven't heard of you guys yet. Tell us why education in the fields that your project covers is so important for business and the overall scope of Education Ecosystem.
Right. Okay, let me first just give you like a general overview of what we do, and then I'll dive into that question. So, Education Ecosystem is a video-based peer-to-peer online education platform, and we teach people how to build products in the field of programming, cryptocurrencies, artificial intelligence, data science, cybersecurity, and game development. We have like two types of users. We have people who kind of like watch content on our website, and we have people who create content, right? We have people who kind of like create projects and people who kind of like watch projects. And our platform is basically based on learning with practical projects. And each project comes with videos that you can watch and also with project resources that you can download, right? And unlike traditional online education companies, we are very much focused on intermediates to experts. And our typical viewers are college students and professionals who are working already in the industry, right? And we have the way we monetize is that we have actually for the viewers, people who are watching the content, right? Our product is completely free, and we monetize actually on the business side, right? And we have like something that we call developer relations marketing. And the developer relations marketing is a B2B service that we sell to tech companies, right? And the B2B service, we just launched it. The B2B service, what we do is actually we help companies kind of like with developer adoption for their technical products.
That's great, Michael. So it seems like you guys are taking a little bit of a different path from something like lynda.com, or where traditional content viewers have to pay for this content, and really you're working on a B2B level. So how many relationships do you guys have, or how does it work exactly? Do you, for example, go to a business that has developers and they need to learn these specific, more intermediate and advanced skills, and you work with those businesses to then train their employees, or is it something like that?
I got it. Okay, that's a good question. So developer relations marketing service that we offer, we don't actually target the employees of the company. What we target are the end customers of the company. Let's take an example. An example is, for example, Apple. Apple has a lot of technical products that Apple ideally would like developers to build like applications on top of it, right? And what we do is we help Apple to kind of find developers to build applications on top of their API, on top of their SDK, right? And that is what is called developer relations marketing, right? So we kind of automate developer relations marketing for tech companies, right? And the way it works is we actually meet most of our clients via events, right? Just like developer focused events and developer focused conferences. This is where we can actually meet most of our clients, right? So a typical example of a company that runs campaign on our website is basically, imagine a tech company that has like SDKs or API, right? And this SDKs or API is targeted toward developers, right? And companies normally have a hard time finding developers to develop applications on top of their platform. And we help companies kind of like build a developer ecosystem around their product.
That's great. And I'm guessing that those companies don't really have anywhere else to go to get this kind of advice, because a lot of the content that's out right now is very beginner level, and there's a lot of it, but you really need that intermediate and advanced, as you said.
Yes, so that's a good point. So the way we actually normally work for our clients is start number one. We kind of like use our existing user base to kind of like build projects related to the API and SDKs of the company, right? So our platform is based on basically learning with practical video projects, right? So the way it normally works is the first step is actually you take the API and SDKs of the company, right? So let's say if we had like Binance as an example, right? And Binance wants developers to kind of like build applications on top of this API, right? And so Binance wants to kind of like educate and teach developers how to build like real applications on top of their API, because why? They want a lot of developers to kind of like build the projects or build products on top of their platform, right? And this is how actually any product grows. Any platform that has a huge developer ecosystem is going to grow, right? The biggest problem that most of these companies have is basically how to teach developers to really build applications on top of their platform, right? And this is where we come in. So the way we come in is, number one, we work with our user base that we have already, the content creators we have an education ecosystem. And what we do is actually we give them the projects that this company actually wants to create. And these creators kind of like created projects. And when these projects are created, we market these projects to our viewers, right? On top of it, these projects that are created, the company can take it and market it on any third-party platform.
That's great, Michael. And my next question was regarding user adoption strategies, and you did touch on that briefly, saying you guys are going to a lot of events, and you also mentioned that you're focused on a B2B market. Now,
Right.
What is your guys' strategy in terms of geographically? There really are no limitations to programming in this sense, but where have your user bases been collected so far, and what regions are you targeting moving forward?
I see. So on the viewer side, on the viewer side, right, on the end user side, we are very much focused on US and Europe, right? We have a lot of Chinese users, but the reason why we are not very much focused on China is the Chinese firewall, right? We spent over 1 year trying to kind of serve Chinese users, and we gave up, all right? We were just not able to kind of like, find a solution around the firewall. So our main, focus is US and Europe. Europe meaning Central Europe, Western Europe, Eastern Europe, the whole of Europe, right? And on the B2B side, we are very much focused on tech companies that have raised funding already or big enterprise, right? We are working with one of the biggest tech companies in Silicon Valley right now, which has over $50 billion annual revenue, right? And this tech company, what they have is they have a lot of developer-focused tools, right? And for these developer-focused tools, they are building basically a developer ecosystem to find developers, to train developers, to educate developers how to build applications on top of their platform, right? Another example that you can say is like AWS. AWS is pretty big nowadays because why? Because Amazon trained developers, right, with practical projects and with practical sessions, how to build applications using AWS, right? So this is actually what we do. We help companies to kind of like expand their developer base. Right? By expanding their developer base, the company is going to make more revenue. Why? Because developers are going to, one, know how to build applications on top of that specific product. And second, they will prefer it when they have to build product, in their own company where they work because they're already familiar with it, right? And this is actually one of the reasons why AWS is really, really popular, because a lot of developers have learned over time, right, how to use AWS cloud services, right? So in terms of our target B2B tech companies, we focus on companies that are actually selling like cloud services that have APIs or SDKs selling cloud services, and we teach developers how to use those cloud services, right? Second, we focus on companies that are offering like APIs or SDKs, be it like cryptocurrency companies. We have a lot of cryptocurrency projects right now, right? And that we are working with. And an example is like, just imagine a new blockchain that has launched. Let's say Tron, right? Tron, or let's say Tron, or let's take any other blockchain. The problem that these platforms have is they don't have any developer ecosystem, meaning they don't have a huge developer base that are developing applications on top of this platform. These blockchains are really new. No developer knows how to build applications on top of it, right? So this is where we come in, and we do everything online. We don't do any online hackathons or anything. We don't do any offline hackathons. The whole service package we offer is actually everything is online, right? And we automate developer relations marketing for companies, and we help them basically accelerate their product developer adoption and to grow their developer ecosystem at 70% less cost than if they use traditional developer marketing sources.
That makes total sense. And I like where you guys are moving with Amazon. And yeah, they have done a great job with all of their developer resources. And that's one of the reasons why they're one of the biggest companies in the world. So great work on targeting there. And you also touched on revenue slightly. I want to get into that. What kind of revenue sources are you guys driving? And the way that you have your current business set up, is that a sustainable business moving forward, or do you need to expand on that?
Like every business, we need to expand on it, but it's actually a good start. We don't need to expand in terms of new revenue sources. We just need to grow the business, right? We just need to kind of like expand like our customer base and kind of like sign up more customers, right? So in terms of like the market we are focused on is over a $10 billion market, right? So just imagine if you look at the cryptocurrency space alone, right? Let's forget like normal companies like Amazon, like Google, or any tech company. Let's look at the cryptocurrency space alone. Most of the cryptocurrency projects, right, that already exist on blockchains, they don't have any developers using or building applications on top of it, right? So the problem is actually not that developers don't know how to build applications on top of it. It's just like these companies don't have any like developer relations adoption strategy, right? And this is so basically all these blockchain companies that exist today, they are target customers, and we're already working on some of them, right? And the way we kind of like build a business is very simple. We kind of like build use cases with some customers, right? And then we take those use cases and take it to other similar customers and acquire them.
That's great. And I'm glad that you guys are focusing on the blockchain industry as it is up and coming. And that's something that requires specialized programming knowledge. And there aren't enough developers right now to push that to the mainstream. So I'm glad that you're working on that. And that's something that I foresee will grow in the next 6 months. And I'd love to know a little bit more about what other milestones you guys are working on for education ecosystem in the next 6 months on your roadmap.
Right, that's good. So basically, we are going to relaunch our Android app. That's number one, right? Relaunching our Android app. That's the number one thing. We're going to expand our team. And third, we basically focus on sales and marketing, right? Expanding our user base and growing our user base to over 3 million. That's like basically in terms of our mid to long-term roadmap. I mean, it's not going to be 6 months to get to the 3 million user base, but that's like our plan. And that's our main focus. So in terms of the next 6 months, the main thing that we are focused on is basically sales and marketing, user growth. Like, basically that's like user growth, sales and marketing. That's like basically what we are focused on mainly.
Yeah. And watching video is YouTube is really turning into a more popular search engine than Google, even with video watching. So is the Android application mainly for your end users just to view the videos using their mobiles, or is that catered towards more of the developers and the business side?
Okay, so it's actually most of our users are developers, right? Most of our users are developers. Basically, those who watch the content on our site, they are either college students or professional developers working in the industry, right? So our platform is like the technical platform. So like content is technical. So the people who come on our platform are developers or designers as well, right? Mm-hmm. So in terms of like the target user base is like the same type of users that we are targeting, and those are the people who already like have basic knowledge and they want to kind of improve their skills and take their skills to the next level, right? So we kind of like help people to improve their skills and become better at what they already do, right? And we're offering them like basically our philosophy is like we are gonna offer the end user, right, all this educational content for free, right, just to grow faster. And on the business side, on the B2B side, we help these companies with developer adoption and charge them for that, right? So we take the API and SDKs of the company, we create like projects related to this API and SDK, we make them for free, right? We kind of like run distribution of these projects that have been created online, right, on different platforms, on our own platform, on YouTube and other third-party platforms, right? We run content marketing for these projects that have been created, right? We run competitions as well to kind of like drive more hype for this project and for this API and SDK.
That's great, Michael. So you guys are looking for more developers. You're also looking for more B2B clients. Now, are you also
exactly? That's basically we are focused on getting more users, getting more B2B clients, and coming up with the Android app. Because the Android app is what a lot of our users have been asking for. We need to revamp it because we have a better Android app right now where we run tests just to see how everything works, and now we just need to launch the proper version.
That's great, Michael. Now, if developers or clients are looking to learn more, follow along with the videos, or contact you directly, what's the best way for them to get involved with the project?
The best way to kind of like contact us is like via email, right? And also visiting our website, education-ecosystem.com. And our email is businessdevelopment@educationecosystem.com. And we will respond within 24 hours. Sometimes, we are late if we have a project that is like running right now, a couple of projects, but we will respond like within 2-3 days for sure.
Thank you so much, Michael. I will leave those credentials in the description box below. It's been a pleasure speaking to you today. It's great to catch up and hear about the growth of education ecosystem. Sounds like you guys are well on your way, and I'm looking forward to following up with you when the developers have now been able to use the Android app, and to see how else education ecosystem is growing. So best of luck to you guys at your future events.
Thank you.
And thank you for your time.
Thank you. Bye.